Like and subscribe! This video was actually suggested by a viewer. If you want your suggestion to have a video made about it, leave a comment below. I'll at least see it, and then I may consider doing a video about it. You read the title, I don't need to explain this to you. I assume you're intelligent enough to understand what the point of this video is. If you want a more in-depth look at MinuteTech specifically, I have a specific video on him. Because this video is going to have a lot less focus on MinuteTech specifically due to me already having a video on him, and a lot more on Leowook, considering that he is the newer challenger that I haven't really done much with before. So let's do a brief summary of my MinuteTech video really quick, but again, if you want a more in-depth reasoning for a lot of the points I'm making here, watch that video. So MinuteTech is a very good PvP fighter, a member of Lifesteal, and additionally to that, in one of his videos he also has a lot of very powerful weapons, and he also has a video where he gets god armor basically, and I'm going to at least consider those for a variation of this fight, and I'm probably going to go over several versions of this fight, and consider different factors as part of his arsenal, or as part of Leowook's arsenal. And now onto the bulk of this video, Leowook. So, since Leowook is a member of the Lifesteal SMP, I'm going to give him the benefit that I give all Lifesteal members I go over in this series, being that he has a maximum of 20 hearts that he can use in this battle. Although, since MinuteTech is also from Lifesteal, it doesn't really give him too much of a benefit, it just evens the playing field in that regard. Now, a big thing I actually want to go over in this video is his intelligence. In Leowook's most recent video, he actually takes trap designs that he paid people to make for him and transports them into Lifesteal to trap people. And while this doesn't necessarily show his own personal intelligence very well in the regard of coming up with traps, the trap he paid $1,000 for is a giant redstone rocket that took tons of time to be completed. And bare minimum, this shows his engineering skill. I mean, imagine if somebody had done that in real life. Just seeing schematics for a rocket and building it is a pretty big feat. I'm also considering taking the rocket and allowing him to use it in the battle, at least in one variation of it, and letting him use it like an actual rocket, just like flying it around wherever. I think that would be really interesting. And additionally, I guess I have to power scale a rocket. So obviously rockets are very durable, and bare minimum, they go at least 17,000 miles per hour and go up to around 27,000. Meaning that if I did let him use this in combat, it would be interesting to say the least. So now let's actually get into the analysis of this battle. The first way I want to analyze this battle is just the two of them fighting one-on-one, no fancy gear or rockets or anything, just the two of them going at a fight. And this actually gives me something interesting to talk about with the Lifesteal players, which is the fact that they all scale really close to each other. Like, we do know that Clown is widely regarded by them as the deadliest of them, but like, even weaker players have fought Clown and done at least alright, because Lifesteal is a server where you have to be good at PvP. And so just about everyone is in the same general sphere of strength and ability, and I don't think either of them alone with just their skill, I don't think either of them is like extremely stronger than the other, which is why we have to dip into the external stuff. Fight number 2, we're gonna add a little crazy stuff to the fight. So I'm gonna let Leowook ride around his rocket and have it function like an actual spaceship that he can just fly around in battle. Because frankly, I don't really think he has anything else that would be really interesting to give him, and I think this is honestly a really funny hypothetical. And then I'll be giving MinuteTech Milner and his Artemis bow from one of his videos. If you want to know what video that is, check out the one I made on him, and I'll explain further scaling with these two than just what's necessary right now. So, in this very, very wacky fight, the guy with complete control of a rocket is definitely way faster, with an asterisk. I don't think he can really control a rocket all that well. Like, he can't be precise at least. I think he could fly it where he wanted to and try to hit MinuteTech with a rocket, but I don't think he's going to be, like, chasing him with perfect accuracy. Meanwhile, MinuteTech is going to have a lot more control over his advantage in this situation, being his very powerful weapons. But my thing here is, like, I mean, a lot of this would really just be MinuteTech avoiding being hit by the rocket, and either waiting till it runs out of fuel, or hitting it with his hammer and bow enough times to where it explodes. Now that's not very interesting. Now granted, a lot of this would come into play with the fact of, like, is MinuteTech going to wait it out, or is he going to be a little cocky and maybe risk his life? But also, they have to kill each other 20 times. And Leowook wouldn't, like, respond with the rocket, unlike MinuteTech, who would probably, you know, get his items back. That's fair, considering Leowook could also get his armor back. So MinuteTech probably wins the fight if we do the crazier option. In an actual PvP battle, as I said, I think they're fairly even, and that I think the fight is fairly fair. So, TySRB, the person who suggested this video, I hope that answers your question. I think in a normal fight, it's fairly even, and if I give them weird, wacky stuff, then it really comes down to MinuteTech winning, probably. But hey, that is just a theory, and I want to know what you think. Do you think even with these mighty weapons, MinuteTech would still lose, or do you think the fight is actually in one person's favor rather than being fairly even when it just comes down to normal feet? I want to know your opinions on the fight. I also just released a video about a week before this, in which I put Clown, Pierce, and Filza up against each other. Additionally to that, I also have individual videos on Clown, Pierce, and Filza. I have, as I've said several times throughout this video, my individual video on MinuteTech. I have a video on Grian as the man in the chicken costume, but don't let anyone I told you that's his identity. And lastly, I have a video Powerscaling Technoblade. So if you did enjoy this video, I would highly recommend you check those out. They're all in a similar vein to this video. I also have a bunch of other content that you may also enjoy if you just like my personality that I've shown throughout this video. And one of the boxes on screen will actually be a video where I tell a story of my journey in Pokemon Emerald, being a more personalized story with elements from the original game inside of it. And then in the other square, I have an entire playlist of stuff from my hardcore series, which is another series I think you'd all enjoy. And obviously don't forget to suggest what you want me to do in my next video, but without any further ado, I hope you're having a happy new year so far, and do not forget to like and subscribe!